Welcome. 4th and 9 to victory. Appreciate you guys joining us. Appreciate all the support. Like, subscription, shares, comments, and joining us live. We will be live this Saturday for the USC versus Purdue game. It's going to be on Paramount, but we will have our live watch party. You'll be able to call in, talk to us as we break down the game, tell you what we see, give live updates. We'll be going live at 2 o'clock Central, and we'll be kicking it off. The first 30 minutes, we'll be doing our preview and what we see from Purdue, letting you know what we expect from the game. Again, this is 4th and 9 to victory. I'm your boy, Fight on Kristen.
And B Jinx.
Welcome. We did want to hop on and do a quick victory. We hope to have a quick victory Saturday, but a quick preview, a quick video. We're going to be touching on the USC running back room and also the latest AP Top 25 poll. So we're going to start there. A lot of things happened in the first 2 weeks, right? We all agree that the preseason poll was whack. We know USC was unranked. We know we moved down after we beat down Missouri State. We beat Georgia Southern Saturday, 59-20, and yet we still are unranked. So I do want to go ahead and start there. I'm going to bring up the latest polls and rankings. B, let me know when you had that brought up. I just sent it to you. And these are the latest rankings. As you can see, Michigan somehow is 23 still. Understand they lost to Oklahoma, which was also a ranked team. We seen last week when Texas and Notre Dame and Clemson lost. They were still in top 10. They did move Clemson out this year. But just looking at this poll and what has happened across college football in these first 3 weeks, right? Because you have week 0. This one we had some games, right? Kansas State was ranked. They're not no more. They lost that. They lost again on Saturday as well. But looking at the current polling, what do you see that stands out to you? And are you surprised yet again that USC is yet to crack the top 25?
What I see that stands out to me is that, is pretty much the status quo. What is always been that the SEC is, sprinkled. Well, not sprinkled. They have it's littered. The AP poll is littered with SEC teams. Excuse me. So I'm looking at LSU, looking at Georgia, looking at Texas, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Alabama, Auburn, and Missouri. So, that doesn't surprise me at all. No matter what, no matter how bad they lose, no matter how bad they look, even in a victory, the SEC always manages to move up in the polls.
Yeah. And what's crazy about it is I actually just realized that I was trying to figure out why all the SEC teams are in bold. This is just the actual poll that I copied over. So I guess they're trying to show the importance of why the SEC of all the SEC teams, right? So what I'm gonna do is, because we're Big Ten here, I'm just gonna go in and put some color on our Big Ten team. I should have looked at this prior. Well, I did, but I didn't realize that once you Google the polls to get it, they're going to highlight the SEC teams for you. What stands out to me as well is that all these teams that the SEC has in, I see Missouri snuck in there. They struggled with Kansas for the most part. Kansas was actually up late in the game. Missouri ended up pulling away. Auburn beat Baylor. I don't think Baylor is that good of a strong team. I know Baylor upset SMU on Saturday, but I didn't have high expectation for SMU themselves. Oklahoma, I can see them being ranked. They did beat Michigan, and Michigan was a ranked team. We were talking about it Saturday. We wasn't really impressed with Ole Miss, right? And their win over Kentucky. I really feel like Alabama should be out the top 25 altogether. FSU, they're looking like they're a good team, but when they lost to FSU, FSU was an unranked team. But really, we know what the polls is going to be. We know as USC, we need to take care of business on the field. And this is just furthermore what we were talking about Saturday, B, when I told you they're not going to rank us, and I don't believe that they're going to rank us no matter how deserving we are until we have to go into the Illinois game undefeated,
Right.
and Illinois needs to be undefeated. And we beat Illinois, that's when they're going to put us in the rankings. And I still don't feel like they're going to even put us in the top 15. I feel like they'll put us at like 22 or something, right? That's just the way they do. I think they have this notion of we've heard the USC hype. We ran with it last year. They beat LSU, and then the season that we had, I think they're like USC has to show us and has to prove it on the field. But looking at our schedule, we have everything ahead of us, right? The good thing about it, Illinois beat Duke. I was hoping they didn't lose that game, and they really could. The score ended up being lopsided, but that score is nothing like how that game was going. Duke gave that game away, but we have everything in front of us, right? We have Oregon,
Right.
that's number 4, right? We got Notre Dame, that's number 8. We got Illinois, that's number 9. Um, we have Michigan, that's 23, right,
Mhm.
on our schedule. So,
So that's 4 ranked teams right there.
right. My only thing is, it's possible that Michigan don't be ranked by the time we get to them. But
Mhm.
again, it still would be a quality win. Um, can Illinois lose to Indiana? Right? Will they be undefeated to get us to the scenario that we're saying? What I
Right.
seen from Indiana, I don't think they'll beat Illinois. So I think it's good there. So we have to beat Purdue and we have to beat Michigan State, and we go into that Illinois game. It's possible we might get a primetime game. Hey,
Yeah, we just got to be ready for it. The team needs to
right.
be up for it.
So that's my impression and opinion on that is that they're not going to rank us until, I mean, even beating Purdue and Michigan State, I don't think they're going to take that. Even if we beat them convincingly, I don't think they're going to take that because they're not high on them teams. And
Hmm.
so I really think we have to be undefeated. Illinois has to be undefeated, and we go into Champaign and we beat Illinois,
I
and then
will, I
we'll get
will, I
ranked.
will say this: if we go into the game, like if we get past Purdue and against Michigan State, I think going into that game, they'll at least put us at number 24.
I think it just depends on what happened around the what happens around college football because I mean last week there were some teams that lost, they moved some teams in, they moved us down.
Hmm.
And so the good thing about it is that if Illinois lose to Indiana and upset Indiana 22, so they if they treat Illinois like they treat the SEC teams, Illinois still will be ranked just in the lower tier. So, you know, so I take that back to say that Illinois has to be undefeated. I just think Illinois, it would be better if they're undefeated, right? They're number
Right,
9. We beat the number 9 team. How could you not put us in there?
right,
But again, we have to take care of business against Purdue. We have to take care of business against Michigan State. Um, and take care of business against Illinois. Really looking at our schedule, if we just handle the business on the field, the rankings will take care of themselves. Um, the bad thing about it is when you start unranked or you start as a low rank, you don't get that benefit of doubt like they did Alabama, who started at 8 and was dominated, right? Just out physical by Florida State.
right,
Instead of moving out the rankings, they went to like 19. So, being ranked and being ranked early help you to have a hiccup and be able to come back from it.
right.
Because if you move into the top 25 and you're like 25 through 20 or through 15 and you take a loss, you're more likely to get moved out of the rankings altogether.
That's
Uh,
true.
but again, I think that we got everything in front of us. I think it's lining up. USC take care of Purdue, take care of Michigan State, go into Illinois and take care of them. And how could you not have us in the top 10 at that point, right?
Right.
If we
Provided we
beat
take care of business, right? For
right,
sure.
right, right. If we beat the number 9 team, what we done the first 2 weeks, you see the score gap. How would you not have us in the top 10, top 12 at that point?
Right.
Um, I mean, I'm looking at it. I don't understand the ranking because I mean LSU had a better win than Penn State. even though LSU is SEC and Penn State Big Ten. I'm just saying the way that they do this, I don't think they're really looking week to week what's happening, what teams are playing, and I don't think they're taking into consideration like what's happening each week, right? Last week we seen that all the teams that lost that was in the top 10, yeah, they lost the top 10 teams. They kept them in there. But then you seen teams like ourselves that blew out teams and we moved down in the rankings. So it's like they are awarding losses to top 10 more than wins. Which
Again, there's going to always be this bias with the SEC. They want to make sure that they have at least 4 teams to get in. So that's why you see so many SEC teams in this top 25 right now. And I'm guaranteeing you that, even at week 12, 13, you're going to still see at least 6 SEC teams in the top 25, at least 6.
yeah, they'll find some way to move someone out um and move somebody in. And I mean, we see it year after year, but again, we just need to take care of business. All right, let's move on to the main topic for this this live. The USC running back room. Lincoln Riley, he stated after the first game, "Hey, I've been telling you guys this. It's been great. It was great today for you to actually be able to see it." And so what he has been saying, all spring and summer is that he stated that this is the best running back room that he has had, since he has been at USC. And a lot of us, well, I'm not going to say a lot of us, but a lot of people was questioning that. But what we've seen from the first 2 weeks, is this the best running back room that Lincoln Riley has had in his tenure at USC?
I would agree. 100%. And we've been fortunate to get the running back that we had the first year, 2022. Lincoln Riley came over from Oklahoma. We had Travis Dye to transfer in from Oregon, and we had Austin Jones to transfer in from Stanford. Year 2, Marshawn Lord, and then year 3 was Woody Marks. So this year we've got in Wayman Jordan from the JUCO ranks, Eli Sanders from New Mexico, and surprisingly, a walk-on that has been, definitely one of the bright spots of the running back room, one of the surprises, which is King Miller. So I would definitely agree that this is probably the deepest and the best that he's had since coming to SC in 2022.
And you're right. Had Travis Dye and Austin Jones. Next year had Jones and Lynch. Last year had Woody Marks and Quentin
Right.
Jordan, which was a
Right.
great duo. But to what you're saying, I have to agree that this is the best running back room, because we're not talking about best running back duo. When you say best running back room, that means top to bottom, and the depth of these running backs and how we can go 4 and 5 deep. I definitely would agree, especially what we've seen for King Miller. Also, Harry Dalton got in yesterday.
Right.
The kid looks good, right? And top to bottom, I would definitely say it's the deepest and most talented room he's had since he's been here. That I feel comfortable that if anyone wants to get injured, the other guys will be able to get in, step up, and we not have a drop off and still go 2 or 3 deep
Right.
at that position.
Right. That's
So I
correct.
definitely agree it's the best running back room that he has had since he has been at USC. And so let's take a deeper look at this running back room. We'll start off with Waymon Jordan, the star running back. What do you see from Waymon Jordan that you like about him, and your overall impression of Waymon?
Yeah. His for me is his cutting ability and his burst. He's real quick. His sudden movements. Um, One thing, he's very patient. Once he gets the ball, but he's not indecisive with it. He's able to make defenders miss in the open field. Um, that's one of the glaring things that I see when I look at Waymon Jordan. We don't have enough sample size to see. I haven't seen much out of the backfield catching the ball. I know he did have one drop over the past 2 games, but outside of that, it's just his ability to diagnose the play, get up the field, and make a defender miss in open space. That's what I see when I see Waymon Jordan.
For sure. Now, a lot to like about Waymon Jordan. I like that he's a patient runner, but when he see the hole, like you said, it's his burst and his acceleration,
Right.
right? He's not going to just run into an offensive lineman back or anything. As you can see, he'll have a little hesitation, so he actually reading. But when he see that hole, it's 1 foot in the ground and
Right.
he's through it. Another thing I like to see is that he's not going down on first contact. He has the ability to get 2 and 3 yards, after contact and even make people miss to where he do a stick foot cut and his change of direction. He can get to his top end speed very, very quick and very well. I like what I'm seeing from him. He has great vision. And like you said, when he sees it, he's there now. It's
Right.
not it's not a wasted step. It's not a wasted motion. He's through that hole. He's through that gap. And for the type of zone blocking and things that we do, man, that is so important. And he has great vision. So a lot to like from Waymon. I'm definitely loving what I'm seeing from there. All right, moving on to second on the depth chart. Eli Sanders.
Yeah. Speed. The
Speed.
speed is when I see this kid, and definitely was put on display on week one. Take a screen pass, go about 70, 80 yards down the left side of the field, and no one is catching him. So that's what I see when I'm looking at Eli Sanders.
Yeah, definitely. When I think of Eli and I see Eli, I think that's everybody's first word is going to be the speed. He has track speed. He can run away and pull away from people. He has good hands. He's uh, a great receiver out the backfield, right? But he also has some good vision and things as
Mhm.
well. And and for his size, he can run in between, the tackles. And again, it's just his speed. He's able to take a 2 yard run and take it 70 yards, right? And
Right.
no one's going to catch him. Linebackers are going to have an issue trying to cover him out of the backfield. And if he get a crease, it's good night, right?
Right.
He's out
Right.
of there. So it's definitely his speed, his vision, and his catching ability out the backfield. These running backs have shown a lot just within these first 2 weeks. We've been hearing it from spring game and things of nature, but it's definitely great to be able to see it manifest itself on the field. We hope to continue to see it as the year, and I think we will. Moving on, he didn't play Saturday. I believe he'll be back next week. Haven't confirmed it yet.
Right.
We have seen him play. We seen him play last year in a bowl game, and I think it's fair to say we all was very impressed. We all assumed he was going to be the starting running back this year coming back, but Riley when he hit the portal and went to JUCO, and I mean it was a hit again. He's always hitting on the portal running backs with those two running backs he got.
Mhm.
But Brian Jackson,
Right. Power. When I think B Jack, I think Lindale 2.0. We saw him last year in the bowl game, especially in the second half of that game. You had some linebackers. They was pretty much scared to step up and tackle this kid. He's going to be our short yardage back. Our 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, even goal line. That's going to be him. When we need those tough runs, especially heading into conference play, when we get against those big defensive linemen from Purdue, those big defensive linemen from Michigan State, from Illinois. That's who you're going to see. From Notre Dame, that's who you're going to see. You're going to see Brian Jenkins. So when I see Brian Jackson, excuse me, I
you
think,
saying your name? You
yeah,
Brian.
yeah, right, right. When I see B Jack, I think vision and power.
Yes, and we're on the same page with that. Power and vision. One thing that I love about Brian Jackson, one of those guys that when we get to the 5 yard line, we can give him the ball and he can get those tough yards.
Right,
One thing I love about him is his power and his vision. And again, when he see it, he goes. There's no wasted motion, and he's always leaning forward. I have never seen Brian Jackson get hit and go backwards.
right,
He has the ability to run through defenders and get an extra 1 to 2 yards because of his power. And we seen that a whole lot during the Texas A&M game last year. We seen him get in some goal line situations in the first game, and again from the 5 yard line, he was able to just go ahead and power it in there. One thing about Brian Jackson power that's going to stand out to me is that when we're trying to ice games away in the second quarter, I mean in the second half, in the fourth quarter, those defenders are going to be tired. they do not want to see B Jack coming through that hole,
Right.
right? Them corners
Right.
and linebackers, they're gonna get tired of hitting that load, and he coming down the full head of steam, and we just gonna pound them. We seen that in the Texas A&M game last year. As the game went on, he went stronger,
Exactly.
and the defenders got weaker. And by the time they got to the fourth quarter, I mean, they didn't want no part of him. Uh,
At
so
all.
so, so definitely he's our power guy. Not to say all the other running backs don't have power, but he's the most powerful runner that we had and that we have, especially running in between the tackles. So expect to see him a lot on goal line, short down the distance, and late in the game when we're just pounding, trying to kill clock and wear that defense down. So moving on, I know this is one of your favorites, definitely a
Yeah.
fan favorite after their first 2 weeks. Lincoln Riley said that this running back in the spring averaged the most yards per carry. And from the first two games, we see it. We can see how, right? The
Right.
explosion there. So we're going to move on to the walk on, King Miller.
King Miller. King Miller. Listen, I think when I see King Miller, I think power, speed. I think patience. I think just the vision this kid has. And I didn't really get a chance to see him. No one outside of the practice, the team, itself really knew about him. But Lincoln Riley had mentioned the kid. But I would love to see this kid with the first team offensive line. I would love to see what he's capable of. If he's able to do what he's doing with the second string and with the third string, man, what can he do with the first string? King Miller. I would love to see this kid with the first string get some touches with that first string offensive line.
And what impressed me and what I like about King Miller as well is his vision and his speed.
Hmm.
Uh, when he see the hole, he hits it running.
He gone.
He hits it 100 miles per hour. He's not going to get caught. He's not going to be walked down. So with that vision and speed, he's definitely a weapon. We've seen him busted 2 weeks in a row now, right? Two
Right.
weeks in a row now. He seen a hole. It was 1 foot in the ground. He hit it running, and he got to 100 miles per hour in 1.2 seconds, and he was off
Right.
to the races, and he was running away from people. Um, we only get to see limited play with him. We haven't seen just a whole lot. Like you said, I would like to see more. I'm not just for sure yet what his power is like because so far we just seen him running away from everybody. Right? They can't
Hmm.
they can't they can't catch him. So definitely the future is bright. Right? We got to do what we got to do to make sure that he doesn't enter the portal. Right?
Right. We definitely want to keep him. Definitely got
Right.
to keep him.
Definitely right now he's fourth on the
I
on
would
the depth
listen. I
chart.
would hate to face that kid. I would
Right.
hate to face him.
His big play ability, his breakaway speed is second to none. He looks really, really good. All right, we're gonna close this out with our last running back. He got limited play yesterday, but again, when he was in, he
Hmm.
looked good. And
He looked the part.
that's Harry Dawson.
Right. Yeah, Harry Dalton looked the part. Like you said, he only got limited touches. As a matter of fact, I don't believe he played in the first game. It was only last yesterday when he played against
Right.
Georgia Southern. But
Right, because B
so
Jackson didn't play, so it
right,
moved him into
right,
the
right. So
rotation.
moved him into the rotation. So we don't have much on him, but the one and two plays he did carry the ball. I did see where the kid ran with some urgency. I would
Hmm.
say that he wanted. You could tell he wanted to take advantage of his opportunity.
Yes, sir. Like you said, we seen limited play, but the plays that we did see from him, he was effective, especially running around that
Mhm.
right corner. So you seen a glimpse of the vision, you seen a glimpse of the speed. Um, I did see on one of the plays. It took two people to bring him down, but again, we have very limited access to what we have seen actual
Right,
game footage with him.
right,
I know his high school tape was phenomenal. He was a beast, but as far as on the college level, we only have two or three carries to go off of. But from what I seen, the kid looks like he has it right.
right,
Definitely, the future is bright with this running back room. Um, there's not many schools that can say they're five deep. at the running back position with
That's true.
high caliber running backs, right? That
Right.
can come in and you can trust that they're going to be effective, right? And each running back brings, something different, right? We have some that's power, we have some speed. They all seem to have great vision, right?
Right.
Um, they all seem to have some power, but some are more powerful than others. But one thing consistent I could say from these first two games, it looks like they all have the vision, right?
Right.
You got two barn burners, right? Speed guys, and Waymon to me, he's a mixture of power, vision, and speed. His lateral quickness, his cuts, and things of that nature. He might not run away from everybody, especially if they got an angle like Eli and King will. But he still has enough speed to break the long runs for a touchdown, as we see.
This is
Um,
true. This is
yeah.
true.
So to close this out, we're both in agreement. It looks like that by far this is the best running. Well, not by far, but this is the best running back room, top to bottom, that Lincoln Riley has had in his tenure at USC.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Well, again, we're going to get out of here. We do want to thank everybody for joining, watching our videos, subscribing, sharing, liking. Again, Saturday, we will be back with our live game coverage, our watch party, as the USC Trojans take on Purdue Boilermakers. We'll be kicking off here at 2 o'clock Central. The game will be at 2:30. Again, we'll have our call-in number in the chat. We welcome everyone to call in, tell us what you're seeing in the game, talk football with us as we break down play by play. The game is going to be on Paramount, CBS Paramount app Plus. So that's where you can find the game. If you can't find the game, join us. We'll be giving you play by play and breaking it down as it go live. With that being said, B, you have anything else you want to share before we get out of here?
Nothing else to add. See you on Saturday.
All right, man. Let's go 3-0. Let's beat the Boilermakers. We got to travel to West Lafayette. First road game of the year. We know last year the road games wasn't friendly and great to us, but this
Right.
is where we see a change. Purdue is picked to be last in the Big Ten, but it's still a step up. Each week we're getting a step up in competition, so we'll be able to learn more about our team for the year, and hopefully we clean up a lot of things from the first 2 weeks. And we'll see you guys on Saturday. We're out of here, and as always, fight on.
Fight on.